our dear chief guest, Madam Anne, the Deputy Director, HRD, the ICT management, the non-teaching staff of this institution, the trainees, you are most welcome. And secondly, I congratulate you for having finished this 1 month's course. On a very special note, Madam Anne, you opened this course and you are closing this course, so you are a very special person to us. So we thank you very much. To the trainees, I must encourage you. I must give you a spirit of now beginning to love the ICT fraternity. Go and do your work. It does not matter where they send you. It does not matter where they what? Hey, I'm a Christian. You remember Joseph? Was taken where? And done what? He was sold. But eventually became the what? Became the what? Have officers who have been here with us. Sorry, not officers actually. There have been constables like you. They have harnessed the opportunities in the directorate and they are now officers. So, whatever you do speaks a lot about yourself. Wherever you go, become very keen. Get focused on your work, do your work, and your work will ultimately exalt you and you shoot up. That is the logic, the science of success. If you really want to succeed and become successful, you have to be focused. You have to have a mastery of your job. When I sit at police headquarters and I scan through the entire CCTV spectrum countrywide, I can know which region is delivering, which district is delivering, which station is delivering. Don't be cheap. If you are cheap, you will think small, you will stagnate, and eventually you will never shoot up. We have seen people shooting up from constables to directors. Kuna nego, how about you? How about me? So if somebody has done it, how about you? So you have to learn the science of success. Concentration, master of your job, getting motivated. Even manipulation, sitting on a computer and manipulate it and pick out the best and see, this year I must be the best CCTV operator. When an operation activity is conducted and we have a success factor and we have a successful hit conducted by you, it will definitely bring you out and therefore you shoot up. So the incense of where I am, where I go does not matter. People come from all walks of life and they end up high. So I have to encourage you that wherever you go, you take the Joseph, you take the Yusuf. By the way, my name is Yusuf, so I'm that kind of Joseph. Thank you.
It's with profound pleasure that I have come once again to officiate at the closing ceremony of the course that I opened a month ago. There can't be much pressure more than that. That you start people off and then you see them get to the finishing line. it's a little encouraging to me. Congratulating you, the participants in particular, for having sailed through the 30 days, are they 30 or 29? Of being out of your stations and being out of your families and sitting here to attain knowledge. And my prayer is that the statement I've heard from your representative and from the commandant and his team is true, that we've picked what we were brought to pick. And I will be glad to see the best being done in the field. And it's my prayer that it will be. To the team of Kikandwa, I can't thank you enough. If you commit to giving people knowledge and taking care of them and have them get the objectives of the training you planned, I don't think it's a mean achievement, and I want to congratulate you. I'm very confident, and I hope my confidence is will be justified by you when you reach in the field, that you've got skills that you required to get. But my emphasis on this is that learning is a continuous process. And I don't expect you to reach the field and say, I have learned and I have finished, and you put a full stop. But my question is that the skills that you've already got, please put them to the rightful use. And use them to protect and serve this country. Because our job is in that. We protect and serve. And so, every skill the police is giving you at any level is to make sure that you protect the citizens of this country and you serve them the way you're supposed to serve them. And you remember very well that the key to your own success, you as a person, before you think about the force, is your inner drive. As long as you have the inner drive to serve, even with this, because I had the team here had to condense everything to have themselves work 24 hours so that they give you what they can. But I'm sure they've told you that that is not all they needed to give you for you to be able to do the job well. So unless you have that inner push in you to learn more, to practice what you've been taught, then using even the little knowledge they've given you will be a little difficult. So tame your inner person to do what you're meant to do. And I like from his statement that when you think you're stuck, when you think you can't move further, you get to them. Like I said, learning doesn't end, and so their mentoring and teaching seemingly is not about to end. And I want to implore the team here and the team at police headquarters and everywhere else to not to be tired of these gentlemen and ladies. Give them the time to pick up themselves and be able to do the right things and have ourselves serve our country passionately. And how do we do that? I want to believe you got people from maybe different places, talk to these people. But I want to emphasize that professionalism includes ideological conscience. And what do I mean? The conscience that should motivate you to ultimately know why you joined the police. And if you join the police to do the controversial things, then you're in the wrong place. I want to believe your ideology should be to support the systems that are in place and to make them better if you can. So have your skills of CCTV, but also your professional levels should be quite mature and well nurtured. Or else your ideology will be a little shaky and it may lead us into something else, which we would never want to have as a scenario anywhere. You have increased on your knowledge. When he was asking about the background of this person here, is it okay? It was getting tough for him to tell exactly where his background is. And I want to believe the science bit that you've given him is the one confusing him. Doesn't know whether he belongs to science now or to something else. But I know the increased knowledge here should be able to tame you better. The other time I heard of software, hardware, I don't know whether we have the medium wares. But I want to believe it's some knowledge that can make your job easier if you actually concentrated on it. So I still want to say I believe that the month that you've spent here was well spent, and the knowledge that you've got is not going to vain. And I want to believe that I wasn't so keen, but I hope we kept the zeal that we were asked to. And I pray that you go with the zeal that I'm seeing now and the attitude and the new energies that I'm reading from your voice this afternoon. When the police invests in training, you've heard Yusuf Sewanyana saying there was actually no money, so he had to run left and right to have this training. The government is trying to protect its citizens. They've put those systems everywhere they are able to put them. Yes, we are still adding up. And now they are training. They're actually giving you extra training to be able to run them, to be able to use them. But my prayer is one, that we use this training very keenly. It will be very useless for the country, or for the Uganda police in particular, which has actually borrowed money for this training, to be when you get trained and we do not see the benefits of this training. And this can be derailed by many factors. Despite our efforts, if we have to have our performance well seen and effective, let's run away from issues of indiscipline. Discipline encompasses a lot. It actually has a lot of items that we can't break now and finish them. But one of them is poor time management. And I pray that you will learn to be where you're supposed to be at the time you're supposed to be there. You've had, I don't know how much time you've spent in the police, but you've had our souls being castigated, being abused for spending 1 hour without responding to an incident. Sometimes it's not our own making, but sometimes we also do a lot of moving around before we even reach where we're supposed to reach. But as long as situations allow, please, time management is a very key factor in our job. And now for you who are going to monitor whatever is happening in this country, whether good or bad, you must use your time so well. And I hope you take it seriously. For us to be effective, for the machines that have been installed, for everything that has been bought and money put in training and buying this and that, we must manage our time so well. This course was designed to improve, to improve our capabilities and the institution's capabilities in general, in terms of knowledge, in terms of CCTV management. And I hope it does not go to drain. How does it go to drain? If, and I want to believe it's an effort put in this line. The way we manage the information we get, timely management of information is one of them, but also who gets the information. I'll repeat that, I think I said it the other time. Who gets this information is one other killer that we have. And I want to believe this great team here has taken you through how this information is supposed to be managed. And the other bit that is likely to hit us down if we don't take it serious is the last bit of it, towards our work. You look at it, you're like, this is what we see every day, this is what we do every day, and so you relax. But I want to believe that from the trainings you've had, you know that crime is not static. It changes every time. The trends are different every time. And so whether you're used to this camera, whether you're used to this trend, whether you're used, learn to be, don't relax a lot. And this comes with our integrity. If you have your integrity well put right and tamed, then you can't get involved into being relaxed on your job. Give it the time you're meant to give it and the energies that you are meant to. Of course, that comes with slow response, and in most cases, corruption tendencies. Going to watch what is happening, and then someone will come and say, you know what, I need this information. And the best you can do is say, okay, give me 500,000 and you'll have it. That is not actually only corruption, it amounts to something bigger than that. But I want to pray that for whatever years you've served in the force, the best time you can have in police yourself is to know that you're corrupt free. If you're corrupt, anytime they say something, you start jumping. start looking this side and that side. And if I talked like now, then someone will say, maybe she knows about me. But you need your peace of mind. And by the way, he will, and many of these people will bear me witnesses, even you in the field. They've talked about traffic. But you know how much money those people give them? If you are allowed to take that one, you're just killing yourself for nothing. Because it doesn't do much. Thank God we are running away from that trend. But even if you choose to take it, even if it's 5 million, it won't do much for you than you maintaining your job. And think about the other person who is offended. You never know who they could be to you at any one point. And lastly, on top of having the best attitude towards work, the other best tool is teamwork. And I'm told you're meant to be 3 also. If you're 3 in that monitoring room, and every one of you is doing their own thing, the person supposed to respond will get confused, and so they will not do the right, they will not make the right response to the incident. So, teamwork is one tool that you should carry with you. And I am not saying teamwork in doing wrong things, teamwork in doing the right thing. If the team is seemingly doing the diversions, please, you may not choose to be a part of that team. But I'm meaning when we are on duty, we are doing work, are we doing it together? Do we share information amongst ourselves? Do we sit in for anyone who is unwell? Do we, correct whoever has made a mistake? And that will give you a better and comfortable working condition. And I know we haven't reached the levels where we say, okay, I have my 500,000, that's what they pay me, and I'm okay with it. But I'm glad that now that you're scaling up, you should be able to concentrate. Remember out there are people that have no jobs at all. There are people that are working for 10,000 for them to have a meal. But after you have this job, please protect it. Protect it. Work for the government that has employed you, and protect its interests, and especially the interest of protecting and serving its people. Normally when I'm doing police work, I left operations I think about 10 years or 12 years ago. When I would be responding to something or listening to someone complaining, I would imagine, what if this was my mother, what if this was my brother, and another person is listening to them or not listening to them, or not paying heed to anything. That sounds a little selfish, but it helped me to do better than I would have done, I think. And I want to pray that it should also be part of your measuring points. Take an incident when you choose to sleep in the monitoring room, and it's your own father who is being attacked, and there's no one to report, and no one to rescue him at the end of it all. What would you feel? That's what this other Ugandan would feel if you did the same. So I pray that this training has built us to that level. But like I said, learning is a continuous process. And I don't get ashamed of asking. Because you've been on this course, you think you shouldn't. you shouldn't ask about something that you think you should have learned. I keep asking, and I think people think, but I have no problem. They will ask you. If you tell me the truth, that's okay. If you choose to divert me, I'll find my other way. But my thinking is, let's keep learning. Let's not get tired of learning. And I know when you're a love of knowledge, the sky is the limit. It may not actually be the limit. So, as I conclude and congratulate you upon having finished this, I want to pray that you go out there and make this institution proud, the force proud, the Directorate of ICT proud. Above all, the Directorate of HRD and the Inspector General of Police, who plans for all this. It would be very hurting for these guys here to, after 2 days, to hear, hey, this is what we've just trained, we're not getting any, reports are just passing, information is just going anywhere. I don't know, one of them may meet you and crush you at one point because you will be threatening their jobs. So, I pray we stick to what we are meant to do, improve our knowledge as much as we can, and have the attitude that we are meant to have. And I want to believe we shall have, to a certain good level, a crime-free Uganda. And we shall also be able to detect crime, prevent it, or manage it well when it's committed. And I know with science, things seem to be getting better.